Hello guys, welcome to my video. Today we're just going to be covering factoring like I promised. And we're going to be getting touched on the homework question like this one. And yeah, so you might be looking at this and going like, whoa, what is this? To make this simple, factoring is a reverse process of multiplication rules. Like, do you remember these ones? You will learn this in high school. X squared plus a plus b, close bracket, x plus ab is really just this. Simplified version of this. So yeah, you just do x squared and whatever number there's an ab. Well, for this, it's you can think of it like the reverse process. So yeah, let's get started with the basic factoring. So you can see this, right? Well, then you can see that they have a common variable, so you could do this. See? Because you just took out. And if you just distribute it, then it will just be x squared plus 2x, like it was before. So yeah, that's the basic idea of factoring. But instead, we're using these formulas to actually solve these questions. So first, let's get this question. So let me just erase this. So yeah, what would this happen? What would this be? You know that the multiplication rule for this is this, except without square roots. I want you guys to pause the video and think about it. How would you solve this question if it's this? Guys solved it? Well, make it clear. Since this is here, you can square root this value and square root this value to get the value of a and b. So since this is up front, so you can square root this and you can square root this. And what would you get? A would be equal to 2 because square root 4 is equal to 2, and b is equal to 3. Simple as that. And since there's 2ab, 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And 6 times 2 is 12. But wait, why is it a negative here? Well, if this was a positive, then this would have been the answer. But since we're asked to factor, let's start with the positive one actually. So yeah, 2 plus, since a and b is already solved, we can do this for the positive one. But what if it's a negative? What would you do for this? Do you guys remember the multiplication rule for this? Well, it's actually just this, but here it's a minus. So yeah, you guys had the right idea about this. But then, since they're since they're powered by 2, it doesn't matter if it's plus or minus, right? Because they will get the positive value. Right? Well, okay, square root is meant to get the same number out, so not particularly, but still. Let's just think of it that way. Let's think easy, okay? If it's a negative, then you'll have to do negative 2 AB. So the answer will be just 2 plus or minus. Would it be plus or minus? You guys tell me. Minus. Because the formula states that A minus B. So yeah, you just write minus 3 squared. And that's the answer for this. The first question. Yeah. So we'll move on. And this is the next one. And you're feeling like, whoa, what is all this? Yeah, I guess it could be a bit confusing, but it's actually really simple. Suppose you have this. What does this be? X, if we use distributive property, then x times x is x squared, like here, right over here. X times v is xv, and a times x is ax, and they could be added, and they have to be added since they're both positive. And then we have a times v right over here. Boom. Yeah, so this is just like a simplified formula. And using this, we're going to be solving the homework question. So yeah, let's get to the homework question. So the question is, x squared plus 2 negative 3 factor it. I wonder how to do this. I wonder. Well, it's actually really simple. Use this formula, and you guys should try to figure it out yourself first, actually. Yeah. Try to solve it. Well, knowing that this is a prime number, so it will be prime factored into these numbers, right? But there's another way of making things, and there's plenty of way actually making negative 3 by using decimals, but let's just focus on the factor numbers because let's think it's simple. So yeah, we have these two possibilities. So these could be the possible value of a and b. Yeah. So how do we figure out which one's which? We have plus 2 here, and it states a plus b should equal to positive 2. Then the only way possible is if a or b is 3 and b is equal to the other option, which is negative 1. And if you add these numbers together, what do you get? Then you get 2. So it satisfies all this. I forgot to write an x here. So yeah. So this is how you do it. This is how you factor. You got these numbers. So how would you factor this? Then you just do x plus 3. And then x minus 1. Well, you might be asking, but why? It says plus b right here. Well, adding a minus is the same thing as subtracting. So yeah, that's why you do it. And if you actually just do the same thing, if you just distribute this, you get x squared minus x, because you don't have to write 1, and the plus 3x minus 3. And if you add all this, what do you get in the end? X squared plus 2x minus 3. Same as this, right? So yeah, that's how you do factoring. And now the final option, which is extra harder. So let's say we got this question. I'll just move this question. I'll just erase, actually no, instead of moving it, I'll just erase some of these. So we have actually space. Okay. So now that this works, how would you solve this? Pause the video and think about it. Using this formula. It's the same idea, except a bit different. So we'll think about factoring it first thing first. 5, 1, and we get 3 and 1. The reason I should actually write it like this. We should always write it like this. It's more simpler. So yeah, these are the possible values of AC and BD, right? AC, here, BD. So yeah, how would you do this? Well, since it states that A should be added with D, and A should be multiplied with D, and B should be multiplied with C, and what do? This contains B and D, and this contains A and C. Then you cross multiply, make an X. Then, if you multiply this, what do you get? 3 and 5. Wait, what do you do after this? Well, you add this, right? Like the formula states. Then you get 8. That's not the answer. You fraud. That could be going through your mind, but I'm not a fraud. Well, if this is not the option, then it must be the other way around. You flip this, and yeah, 3 times 5 is equal to 15, and 1 times 1 is equal to 1, and you have to add them together, right? So yeah, this is how you do it. Wait, but then what do you do after this? Well, then you just put x over here. Let me just erase this so it looks more clear. Delete the x after that, and you add x right over here, x right over here, and if it's 1, you don't really need a 1 here. Yep. And then whatever the value of these two numbers are in addition, you bring the same thing. To make 16, you have to add both of them. So yeah, close bracket, close bracket. And if we actually distribute this, let me just go down. If we distribute this, 3x plus 1 and x plus 5, right? Yeah. So yeah, if we distribute this, then we get 3x squared. 15x plus 15x. Right? And then plus 1x or plus x and plus 5. So if we add that, then you get the same value as this. So yeah, this is how you do the basic factoring. Yeah. So I'll give you guys a couple of practice questions, like 3x squared plus 8 plus 5, 15, actually, no. What other question should I give? X squared minus 3 minus 4. Yeah. These are the practice questions that I want you guys to solve. Yeah. Thank you for listening, guys. This was basic factoring. Not too hard, right? Yeah. This is the basics of factoring. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you do, I hope you get an A+. Thank you guys for listening again. I'll see you in the next video.